Hi guys, it's April, and since it is the beginning of July, as per usual, we will be doing a monthly wrap-up. Now this one is going to be a slightly longer wrap-up, or maybe the same length. I don't know, I haven't edited this yet, because this is going to be the full month. I did not do a mid-month wrap-up this month, mainly because I hadn't read a lot of different books. I've been reading a series, so at the middle of the month, I was going to be talking about basically two things and then having to repeat at the end of the month, and then I took vacation, so I didn't do it. So for this month, I read 12 books, bringing my yearly total to 93 books. And of those 12 books, I read 4,241 pages, which brings my yearly page total to 28,074 pages. And I am reading about 155 pages a day, which is still about 2 days per book. I'm pretty steady on that front. I think that's probably my average at this point. It's the middle of the year. I can safely assume that unless something really catastrophic happens. Now I have some really fun reading stats that I want to show to you guys at some point. I'm going to be doing a mid-year check-in of my goals, and I think that's probably where I'm going to be throwing out those stats. Like what genres I've been reading, what kind of authors I've been reading, what formats I've been reading in, and about on average the length of the books that I've been reading. So if you want to know any of that kind of information, look forward to that video coming shortly. The first read I want to talk about is Even Tree Nymphs Get the Blues by Molly Harper. This is a short little novella set in this realm in which all magical creatures are real, and it takes place in this town where humans and these magical creatures are trying to coincide. It follows a tree nymph who has just moved into town. She pretty much wants to stick to herself with her cows and make all of the dairy magicalness of ice cream, which I think is amazing. And of course, you get the love interest thrown in there too, and how all of that is dealt with in the past that is slowly sneaking in as this is going on. This was a cute little story, but I don't feel like it did itself justice. I think if it had been fleshed out a little bit more, maybe I wouldn't feel so iffy about it, but all of it felt really forced. I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I was going to. I just wanted a short little cute romance, but then I got something that was just too cookie cutter and ridiculous that I didn't really enjoy it as much as I wanted to, unfortunately. I also picked up volume 5 of Buffy. This is the reboot comic series. I have a full review over this up on my channel. I will link it up above and down below in case you are interested. I'm planning on trying to get through the series as it's coming out. So each issue that comes out, I'm probably going to try and put out my thoughts on. This is issue 5. Not wholly excited about where all of this is going at all. I'm trying to let go of all of the things I love in the Buffyverse and accept this for being something completely new, but there are certain things that I feel like should be part of the universe that aren't quite there. In the series that I have been reading this month that I slightly alluded to at the beginning is the Luck series by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I read the whole series this month. I just started at the beginning and I pretty much binged this whole series. I've read the first book, the beginning of my booktube journey. Really liked it, so I bought all of these, and did I ever actually read them? No. So this was my attempt to catch up on everything that I needed to read. I liked the beginning of the series way more than I liked the end, and I think it's because at the beginning, Katie was very much a relatable character. Katie is a book lover, she is a bookworm, she's a book blogger. So I related to a lot of those aspects, but Katie moves into a new home, and next door there is a brother and sister who she starts to befriend, and noticing there are some weird things going on in town and around this family, and maybe there are more things going on in the universe than everybody thought there was. Like I said, I really liked the beginning when we first got to know the siblings next door and started to learn the mystery behind all of that, and then towards the end it started taking on that very stereotypical YA supernatural trope where you have love triangles, you have this really big enemy and almost ending the world kind of issues going on. I didn't really like it as much as I thought I was. There was a lot of repetitive angst that I was a little bit over, but overall I really did enjoy this series. And then for my book club at work, we read The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team by Patrick Lexico. Connie, I think that's how you say his name. This basically just goes over a lot of the different personalities that can create dysfunction within a working team. I like the way this is written because it gives you more of a story show rather than just a very dry tell. That is why I like this a lot. This has probably been my favorite book that we've read for work so far this year, even though some of the books are the ones that I feel really bad about that one. But you know, things happen. So if you are a manager of a team or anything like that, I highly recommend this book. I finally got around to picking up The Book of Fate by Brad Meltzer. This is a thriller mystery read. This is the story of Wes, who is the presidential aide. When one day there is an assassination attempt on the president and Wes is injured, and then shoot off into the future, we find out that Wes is still working for that president, but no longer in office. And everything that we thought happened at the original assassination attempt starts to fall apart because the people and things we thought had happened may not have happened. I don't know how to give a synopsis that doesn't start to spoil a lot of different things. It was a very intriguing read. I got really invested nearer to the end when things started piling on and we started seeing a lot of the different things. It is a very standard mystery thriller kind of read. There wasn't a lot of special things to it, but it is perfect for a travel book. And then for our book club book pick of the month for Tell It Again book club that I do with Shay, we did Sherwood by Meagan Spooner. We did a whole live show just the other day. I will link it up above and down below. It does contain spoilers because we go into a lot of our thoughts about this read. This is a Robin Hood retelling in which Maid Marian is the one taking care of things back home because Robin has gone off to fight in the King's War. This very much follows the Robin Hood storyline, except for instead of Robin being Robin Hood, Marian takes on the role instead. She's dealing with a lot of things that are going on while the war is going on, and she decides that she needs to take a stand, and of course this is the way she decides to do it. Meagan Spooner's writing is very easy and quite quick to get into. She has a way of putting words on paper that just sucks you in, but there was just so much of the story that probably didn't need to be told. I didn't get truly invested into the story until about 3/4 of the way through the book, and then things really started going down and I became interested. There's a romance in this story that I feel a little weird about. I don't want to give spoilers because I started off feeling one thing over here, and then there is things that happen in the storyline rather suddenly that throw something else at you, and I didn't really relate to it or agree with it or even see that it fit in the way that Meagan Spooner was trying to make it fit. But it is a thing that happened. It wasn't a bad read. It's just not something that I'll probably pick up again. And last but not least, I read Stiletto by Daniel O'Malley. This is book 2 in the Rook series. This takes place in the UK, set around a group of highly supernatural people and a group of highly scientific people and them dealing with each other. I highly recommend the series altogether, just the way the humor is in this book, the very dry and very sarcastic things that happen, and the way the story is told. I like it a lot. I just saw a trailer for The Rook. I don't remember what channel or whatever it's supposed to be on, but it's being released as a TV show. At this point, I might see if I can get my hands on it and watch it because I've forgotten how much I liked this storytelling. It'll be interesting to see what they do with it. I don't know, but I like the books, so fingers crossed. So that is all that I read in the month of June. July is going to be really crazy because we have the reading rush coming up. I'm going to try and put my TBR together and get that up and viewable and things, and I might do daily vlogs for the reading rush like I have done in the past when it was Booktubeathon. I don't know. Probably, I guess. We'll see what happens. Tell me down below what you're most excited about reading-wise for the summer, and I heart your beautiful faces.